Hello Battletech enthusiasts. I'm now going to describe how to paint Grey Death Legion. So with Grey Death Legion, you will want a paint called Shadow Grey, and you will also want a black paint, and you may also want something called Agrax Earthshade. What I found is that this Shadow Grey isn't quite dark enough to get the effect that I like. So what I do is I mix it. This is going to be one of the only times you'll ever have to mix paints with my painting tutorials. Just mix straight out of the bottle 50% black and 50% Shadow Grey. Swirl it around with the end of your the non-brush end of your tip of your brushes, the plastic round ball tip. Swirl it around to mix it up. Then kind of clean off the tip of your brush. And now I'm assuming that you have at this point primed your mech, and you've also painted all the guns black, and you've painted the cockpit black, which is what you should have done. And you may or may not have overpainted the black guns with silver or gunmetal, but I'm assuming you're at that stage now. You may or may not choose to base it by putting some plastic wood down and then and painting over the plastic wood with Lustrian Undergrowth. But you can do that too. It'll be convenient when you wash, because then the washes will all be the same. So then you now get your dark gray paint that you've made up. I'm sure there's probably a bottle of paint out there that might work better, but this is how I've come up with something that works. And now just cover the whole model except for where the guns in the cockpit are with this dark gray paint. This is basically the main color of your Grey Death Legion. Now, optionally, you could choose to add some Grey Death Legion gray stripes on it with using the Shadow Grey straight up as a lighter color gray if you want to. But I just find this unnecessary, and just kind of keep it looking the same dark gray that I got out of this combo, or this mixing black with this Shadow Grey. And now, after it's dried, you then just cover the whole, wash the whole model with this Agrax Earthshade. And if you also happen to wash that green Lustrian Undergrowth at the same time, that's even better. It just kind of looks even more like earth and dirt. And this kind of slightly darkens the model a little bit, and it kind of gives it a slightly worn feel. And now, what you can do is touch up the guns with gunmetal, because you've probably covered some of them and messed up somehow. Also the cockpit, recover and touch up the cockpit with black paint using like the finest brush that you have. And now you are pretty much done. Your Grey Death Legion is ready. Now you could choose to do fancy things like add decals and touch up the cockpit and add crystal cave tips to the lasers and all kinds of fancy things like that, or add heat effects. But you don't need to, and you are pretty much done now, and you are ready to go. And you can see what it looks like right now if you look at my mechs. Although I have touched up some crystal cave on some cockpits, including my Marauder, which doesn't actually have a cockpit in the original model because it's basically the old style where the cockpit wasn't really done right. So I had to make up a cockpit, and it doesn't look that great, but it doesn't look that bad either. Anyway, that's my opinion anyway. But it's good enough for a tabletop, and it looks good, and your mechs are fierce and ready to go. I like my Battlemaster, though. My Grey Death Legion Battlemaster, I think, came out well. It has a different style of cockpit. But anyway, that's just how it is. Okay, good luck.
I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Please hit subscribe and enable notifications so you'll know when I upload a new video.